Welcome back to the channel. This time, we're going to do a little update and weekly challenge. That's right, we got update 1.55. A lot of new things coming out in this update. No new tracks, but there were some interesting changes. First, let's just start us off with some things that folks might be interested in. We got 9 new engine swaps. One of these days, I think I'm just going to go through and try out all of the engine swaps. But until then, there seems to be quite a daunting list of those. We also got 2 new entries into the museums, if you're into that kind of thing. And we also got an interesting improvement in the physics. So when we're driving over bumps and other undulations, allegedly they've improved that physics. Now, through driving the weekly challenges and the races, I must say I have noticed a little bit of change in physics. It's nothing that's crazy and amazing, but I have noticed a little more stability. There's also been a change in the tire physics. Now they have adjusted the cornering power load dependency. What that means, I have absolutely no idea, but it did feel like I was better at catching the car coming out of the corners. Now, I don't know if that has to do with this tire physics change, but it could. And, it could be the cars that I was driving, but every car that I drove, I seemingly had better control of the car. So I am liking that update. They also reduced the grip loss on racing lines on the wet surfaces, which means, when you're on that racing line, it's raining out, you'll get a little better grip on that racing line. You don't have to search to get off of the racing line for grip as much. They also reduce the grip loss when you go off track and the speed at which you gain your grip back once you come back on track. I've always complained at how crazy the grip loss was when you went off track and you came back on, how long your tires stayed dirty. I thought it was a little overkill on that, and I guess they agreed with me in the long run. So congratulations, GT7, on that. Other small things, they adjusted performance and handling of several cars and updated the PP of several cars. They also updated the steering algorithm for the controller. So if you're a controller player, allegedly they have improved the steering geometry and that algorithm for the controllers, as well as improving the steering geometry in the force feedback steering wheels for better forced feedback. And I noticed, especially when I was driving the Lexus in the weekly challenges, that I was really getting good feel from the front tires when I was pushing them past their limits. So again, another change that I felt like I noticed and that I liked. So that is good. I'm happy with that. They also updated the driving assist. So they have optimized traction control, which I pretty rarely ever use. Usually only on those Red Bull racing cars because they're just a little crazy off throttle. And they have optimized the corner braking for ABS. I did notice that as well. When you're hard on the brakes and you're turning in on the corner, you can feel that the ABS is not locking up those front tires, opening that steering, so to speak, allowing those tires to continue to turn, and you're finding a little extra grip when you're turning in a little bit late. If you brake a little late and you've got the ABS on. So good for you ABS users and myself as well, because I do use default ABS a lot. Also, because of the updates to the physics and the tires, they have decided to update some of the times on the leaderboards for the missions and the time trials. So if you're into that, now is a good time to go set your best time because they have been reset. So get on it. And in sport mode, they've also increased the DR limit. To what? I'm not certain, but they have increased that DR limit. Now we'll get on to the new car additions. In the Gran Turismo section of Brand Central, you will find the new Gran Turismo F3500A. And for 1 million credits, it can be yours. Pretty good buy. I like this car. This is one I would definitely say you should have this one in your garage. It's a good car. I mean, it's a fun car. It's IndyCar based. I like it. I dig it. It's cool. They have also added the 1987 Honda Civic SI Extra for only 61,600 credits. You're going to find that in the used car lot. It's got the screaming 1.6 liter 5-speed manual. And folks, this is all about driving a slow car fast. This car is fun. I know it's front wheel drive, but you know what? is still a fun car to drive. You can throw it around. You can have a good time in it. We're going to try it out in the new updated events that they added to the game. Also, in the Hyundai section, you will find the 2024 Ioniq, I don't know how the heck you say it, 5N, and it is 85,000 credit. It is an all-wheel drive EV, and it's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's actually pretty fast. It's a little awkward feeling. You can't shift gears. You're always in drive. I don't know if it's running a CVT or what. It makes RPM noises. I don't really know what's going on there with that, but it does make those RPM noises. I couldn't figure out if it was an auto or a CVT or what was going on with that car. It was a little strange, but I definitely couldn't shift gears. But you'll see more of that as well in the new world events that they added. I will go over that car with you as well. The last car they added is the 2018 Toyota CHRS, and the S must stand for sorry, this car is so freaking terrible. If I was Toyota, I wouldn't even want to add it to the game. For 26,000 credits, you can be robbed blind and you can put it in your garage. It's a 1.8 liter hybrid CVT, and it's awful. It is like driving a bowl of jelly. A bowl of jelly might even be more fun, to be honest with you. In fact, I think my wife's 1992 Toyota Tercel 5-speed 1.0 liter super slow bicycle tire car was more fun to drive than this Toyota. Why do they want this in the game? This is not a good representation for a driving experience with your brand. But it's in the game, and you can have it for 26,000 credits. I don't know why. But that's the only bad note. I mean, the Hyundai's, it's okay. Neither here nor there. But the rest of the improvements, I did enjoy. I did like. So hopefully you will like those updates as well. Back to the world map. Let's go to the cafe. We did get a new extra menu at the cafe. I know you're super excited. Scroll on down to the bottom and you will see extra menu number 43, the Group C extra menu. You'll get a 6-star roulette ticket and this beautiful photograph to hang on your wall in your cafe once you complete this extra menu. So get it done. Go get it done. Get your 6-star roulette ticket. I did, and I'm happy. Speaking of happy, you know what else makes me happy? Beautiful photographs of really cool cars doing really cool things. And we've got new scapes provided to us, the Chromatic Drive. So if you're into photography of anything Gran Turismo 7, look at these fantastic color chromatic scapes that you have at your fingertips. If that's your thing, I think you're going to like it. It's not my thing, but I think if it's your thing, I think you'll like it. Now on to some race car things. Go into the world circuits. Head up to your event directory. Under the Sunday Cup, we've got a new event. Scroll all the way over to the right at the Kyoto Driving Park. We've got a 4-lap PP 380 race at Kyoto Driving Park, Miyabi. So I picked out none other than the 2018 Toyota CHRS. Do not get your hopes up too high, folks. This car is not exciting. Pick the new Civic or the used Civic, the old 1987 Civic for this race. You'll have fun. If you go with this one on the Comfort Softs, you'll be at the right PP level. You will probably win the race, but you will wonder, like me, what the heck is going on with the transmission. You're pegged out, you ease off to go through the corner, and it just turns off. Like the car just shuts off. I guess it's recharging. I don't know. And then you hit the gas again, boom! Transmission, or the engine kicks back in full throttle. It's like on off, like you turn it on and off a light switch. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. Handling, not great. Look, don't get me wrong, the handling is not the worst ever in this car, but does not lend to excitement or joyfulness. There's no shifting of gears. It's very equivalent to driving a vacuum cleaner, if you ever thought of what that would be like. There it is. Grab mom's vacuum cleaner, sit on it, and you got the Toyota CHRS. Get your credits and get out of there. Get out of there. Don't get away. Run over to the FF Challenge 450 and do what I did. Snag you a real ride. It's right there on the cover photo. It is the 1987 Honda Civic SI Extra EF. I don't know what the EF stands for. Throw it on the sports soft tires. You'll want to do that because that'll put your PP level at about 467, which is right about the 450 mark. It'll make this an enjoyable race for you. It's just about the perfect PP level for this race. They're a little off with the PP ratings in these races. It's hard to get it just right between the comfort mediums, comfort softs, but what an enjoyable car to drive. After driving the Toyota, you get to bang through the gears. You get to throw this car around and just really enjoy its nimbleness. It's a light car. It's called driving a slow car fast. That's right. You're just trying to carry momentum through corners, outbreaking the cars into the hairpin, going into the turn of testicular fortitude, all out, hanging on to every inch of the track. That's how you get it done here at Sardinia with the windmills. Get into the back of the Civic Type R. Sorry, fella, carrying too much speed. Needed you to move over a little more to the right. Gonna have a drag race up the hill. The 87 SI wins it. How about that interior? Absolutely gorgeous. Look back ashamed. Let you know. Old Gretty put the what for on you. Getting first place. You're going to need a 37 to win this one. Take home 25,000 credits. On to the last new race added to the World Circuits. And that will be down in the World Touring Car 600 Series. We've got a new race here at Interlagos. It is a 5-lap competition of a PP 600 variety, and you will need all 600 of those performance points. A little bit tough finding a really good car for this race, but the new Ioniq will win it. But you are going to need to throw on some sport medium tires, or you're going to have a real challenge ahead of you, because it took about all I had to get this car into that P1 position. It is an EV. You cannot shift, but it is not horrid. Not like the Toyota I drove earlier. It has definitely got some speed. Not quite a lot of top end, but it has got really good acceleration. Handling, not too bad. It's an all-wheel drive car. Actually handles okay for an all-wheel drive car. You just got to turn in early, be patient on throttle because it will understeer. But if you get that turn in early and you can get it to rotate a little bit like I did going around the Dodge Viper right here on the outside. Look at me chasing down these supercars like this Jaguar F-Type. I mean, like I said, it's got some speed. But you really got to push it on these AI in the corners because you're not going to run them down on the straight. You'll catch them on acceleration, but once you hit top end, it's going to kind of level out. Now, we're playing Chase the Lamborghini here. You've got to get in front of R. Haywood because if you don't, he is going to find P1, and he is going to be super hard to catch at the end. Managed to get in front of him on lap 3. Super important. I can put him in my rear view mirror and then chase down first place in the Lamborghini. And as you can see right here, I had more speed, but boy, I tell you what, you get into that top end and that Lamborghini just leaves you in the dust. The electric car just doesn't have that top end that the top sports cars do in the 600 Performance Points series. But managed to get on by P1 and then hung on for the remaining lap. Took home a first place victory in the all-wheel drive EV. Not a bad little car. Not a bad, worth putting in your garage. You're going to need about an 839 to win the race, and you'll get 90,000 credits. So give the Ioniq a try. Maybe you like it. It's a little different. But I think you might like it. Now let's get on to the weekly challenges. All right, we got 800,000 credits on the line if you complete 5 events. That's right. If you can place 3rd place or better in 5 events, you can get that 800,000 credits. Now, on to the first race, European Sunday Cup 400. I decided to go with a car I just picked up in the Legends dealership, the 1961 E-Type Coupe in a beautiful green color. I don't know if it's British Racing Green. I don't think it is, but it is a very nice shade of green nonetheless. And we're at Brands Hatch. We got British make at British track. Beautiful combination down into turn 1. Look at that drift. Oh, it's so beautiful. I think I was having a little bit of love with the physics right there. Don't know anything about this weird tire loading stuff, but enjoyed that turn immensely. Look at the top end of the Jaguar going by these younger makes and models of cars. Now I bite off a little more than I can chew right here on corner one, go a little wide. New physics maybe helping me out there with the undulations and the track grip when your tires are dirty. Maybe. I did not lose the car. Felt pretty good. Let's try turn one again. This time I take it more like you're supposed to, but head on down the inside to shoot for first place here at turn number 2. Look at that. Get through there, get underneath the Peugeot, make it stick here at the GP circuit at Brands Hatch. Loving this old E-Type. What a gorgeous car. Analog gauges, wood steering wheel, beautiful color. Enjoyed that race immensely. You're going to need a 305.5 to win this one. And if you're lucky, get that clean race bonus like I did and rake in those 10,500 credits plus 100,000 credits for completing a challenge. Now let's move on to challenge number 2, the Japanese Clubman Cup 550. Little bit difficult to find a 550 PP car. I just happened to pick up a 400R from the Legends dealership in a new color that I didn't have before, so decided to go ahead and stick it out on track and see how it would do at Fuji. And well, it is a Nissan 400R at Fuji. I mean, can you really go wrong with that combination? I don't really think you can. And I will tell you, this car does not like to over rev. I mean, as soon as you get to red lines, you better grab the next gear or it is going to hit the rev limiter. Anyway, get on by the competition there. This is why you pick that 400R. Look at that top speed, just getting right on by the here at the long straight at Fuji. Sending it towards turn 1. Now catching up to P3. Go down the inside of the NSX. Another great car, really. Probably would be a good selection for this track as well if you're looking for another car to throw out here. Then we catch up to the Mazda RX-7. Going to put it around the outside, which is going to soon turn into the inside as we make this left-hander. And it's raining, but not really caring. We're on the sports hard tires, plenty of wet weather traction. And like I said, the grip on the racing line has been improved, so don't be afraid to be on the racing line when it's wet. But wasn't racing super hard. I didn't notice any real difference in grip or loss of grip, so maybe that reduced slickness on the racing line was evident because of that. Gave the old look back of shame, took first place, and well, you're going to need about a 554 to win the race. Don't think you'll have too much trouble if you choose the 400R. Pick up your 20,000 credits and move on to challenge number 3. World Touring Car 600. We just did this for update 1.55. We're going to do it again here at Interlagos, but I'm going to choose a different car this time. I'm not going to take the Ioniq. I showed you before you can win with that car, but I decided to go with the Lexus. That's right, snatched me up this beautiful lime green LFA 10, the 2010 version of the LFA. We threw it on some sport hards, made it right under the PP level, sent it out at the track in Brazil, see how it did. And I tell you what, I really like how this car handles. Really nice turn-in, and when the car starts to come around, you can really find its balance point, counter steer it, and catch it. Plus, I gotta tell you, this is where I think this car is where I really felt the upgraded steering geometry and force feedback in the wheel. You could really feel the front tires on this car. You really felt connected to the racetrack. I mean, did that translate into super fast lap times? No, not really. I am not a professional. I am an amateur. But hey, it was good enough that I could catch this Lamborghini yet again, playing catch the rabbit right here, get in his tail, and unlike the Ioniq at the top end, to get on by him before turn 1. Then I can drop it down the corkscrew and chase after P1. Get by P2 here on lap number 3. Again, look at that, catching the slide. I am really just enjoying the feel of this slight update. Like I said, it's not a massive change, but there's just a little tweak to it, and I like it. You might not like it, I don't know, but it's really growing on me. Look, I got hit there by the AI, still able to catch the slide. Went to go give him a look back of shame, but I failed. So I could look back at him and say, yeah, you ran into me, sucker, but I still won. Anyway, you're going to need like an 842 to grab the victory here and to pick up your 90,000 credits and your 200,000 bonus credit for winning or accomplishing 3 of the tasks. On to weekly challenge number 4. It is a 650 pp or less Porsche challenge. And boy, I was struggling to find the Porsche that I want. And then I decided to go with a tried and true, good old-fashioned Cayman GT4, the racing version. Put the Cayman on some racing hard tires to make my 650 performance point limit and put it on track. And to be honest with you, I wasn't really sure how the GT4 Club Sport would do against the 911 turbos and such out on track. I have driven this car. It has brought me to A+, back when I was just hammering away at sport mode, and loved this car. And I got to tell you, I was really enjoying it here at Spa. I had 5 laps to just enjoy all the delicious goodness of a Porsche Cayman. And if you have not enjoyed that marvelous turn-in and rotation, you need to jump into the Cayman Club Sport. Just head out here on Spa and just savor all that it is cornering, because it is marvelous. It is lovely. And I know I'm pounding at it, but the improved feedback on the wheel felt really good. Even when I was on to the Soylent Green, where race car drivers' dreams go to die, I felt like I was in touch with the track. Like I said, these subtle changes they made to the tire physics and the steering geometry, I'm liking it. I really am. And the more I drove throughout, the weekly challenges and everything, the more I really began to appreciate it. Just stay away from that Toyota. Just stay away from that Toyota. Oh, for all that is good. All right. Get by P1 here on lap number 2. Had 3 laps all to my lonesome. Took home first place and did so with a smile on my face. If you want to put a smile on your face, grab you a Cayman GT4 Club Sport and head out to Spa. You need a 1238 to win this one. I don't think you'll have any trouble with this car. Grab your 87,005. Get out of there. Let's get on to the special event, the big event of the week. It is 15 laps, the high-speed ring in the F3500. It's a one make. You got 2 times fuel, 2 times tire wear. Not that either of those are really matter in the race. Throw on your racing softs. I did a little bit of tuning. I put a fully customizable racing transmission in it, and then I set it to 360 kilometers per hour, and then made the adjustment to 6th gear here. Just wanted a little more top end in 6th gear, and a little more length in my other gears to keep the car from spinning out when I was coming around those corners. Also dropped the rear wing down to give me also a little more top end. Check out my front spoiler there as well. The rest of the car I left the same. I had some ideas, but I wasn't really sure if I wanted to implement them. I wanted to go ahead and race the race and feel it out and see if I wanted to make any changes. So headed out on track with this setup, and you cannot add nitrous. You cannot add nitrous to the car. So there's no way you can overtake using the overtake button. You have to slipstream cars, which is why I lengthened that 6th gear out and reduced that rear wing some. So you are dependent on getting into this car slipstream and then overtaking it. Here on this corner, this is the corner you need to learn to master. Try to learn to take it as fast as you can with as little brake input as you can. You can almost take that with just a downshift. I learned that a little bit later in the race, but here you've got to be patient. High gears, 3rd gear, don't go any lower than 3rd gear coming out of this corner. You're more likely to spin out. Keep it in 3rd and then shift on up. And here, stay wide on this. You'll be able to carry really nice speed coming out the other side. Just keep it pinned. You come out, you can see I can blow right on by that guy. Now I'm right into the slipstream of the next racer, and then I'm catching up quickly to him as we're heading down the straight. I decided to try and go down the inside, hoping that P9 there was going to come down to the inside of the corner, but he did not. Kind of left me hanging out there to drive. That's all right. Had enough speed that I could overtake him. Able to still hold pretty high speed with that gear. Now, coming out of this corner here, on the final corner here on lap number 2, you can see once again, get in the slipstream of the car in front of you and just keep it pinned, and you want to be within about 1.5 seconds to really start to feel the effects of that slipstream. Able to catch up to the group in front. You see my number, the red number 2.3 is counting down, which means in top gear, I'm still able to catch up to P1, which is what you want. You want to be making that red number come down so you can continue to wheel the group in. And once you get the group pulled in front of you, you're going to be able to work your way up to the front of the pack. It's not going to be a problem. You just got to stay in the group. You can't get broken off where you're like 2.5, 3 seconds down, you're not gaining on the lead group. Here on lap 4, I already got my sights set on P3, which is all I got left to do to complete the weekly challenge, is get a P3 here. And I got to tell you what, I'm thinking about this race as I'm racing. I'm like, this is actually a pretty decent challenge. Even when I get out front, I'm like, how am I going to hold this front position? Because I'm not flying by these other F3500s. So get by P3, get by P2, slam it down on the inside of P1, and now I'm thinking about breaking slipstream. I'm going back and forth, doing whatever I can, trying to break slipstream. On lap 5, I get popped into the wall by P1 there. AI playing dirty. But that's all right. I was still well within his slipstream, so just made the pass back on by him on lap number 5. Again, trying to hold him off. Look at this outside move by the AI. I don't know where he found all that grip. Man, he went flying by me there. I was like, ooh, this is gonna be a tough ending if AI can just whiz on by you at 160 miles per hour. So on to lap number 7. I take my lead back yet again. What a back and forth race having here at High Speed Ring. And again, I learned to take this corner quick, but didn't matter. P1 decides he's gonna send it and just take me out. That's twice now. AI just absolutely devastates me on that corner. But again, not over. I'm only 0.9 seconds or so away from that P2 position, so I'm well within the slipstream. I'm not too concerned about it. Lap number 13, I've got basically 2.5 more laps to go to catch up to this little lead group, and I know that I can do that on the long straight at the High Speed Ring. So here I am, coming up on him on lap number 14. Get on by down the inside. I let P1 get out in front. Thought a second about putting him in the wall like he did to me, but decided better. I was like, you know what? I think this is probably where I want to be for the last lap, is in P2. Not a bad place to be. Make your pass right here as you can zip on by him. Put a little bit of distance between you and him before you get down into corner 1. He doesn't have anyone to slipstream off of. Make that corner solid. Go through there quick. You got a 0.4 second gap. Not a problem. I don't think he's going to be able to catch me before the start-finish line. But again, with the rubber band effect the AI pulls, sometimes you never know. Look at him charging hard on old Gretty here on the back half of the race course. Didn't have them charge hard at me ever on this part of the track, but here on the last lap, they're really coming at me. But I know I'm going to keep it on this outside line, and they're not going to be able to pass me before the start-finish line. Come around the final corner, head down the straight, take home the victory. P1 in the special event. Just a little bit of tuning, just to give me a little bit of an advantage over these other P3500s. Don't worry about the time. You just got to stay out in front to win this one, or stay in touch with the top 3 cars. Really all you need to do to get your 150,000 credits and your 500,000 bonus credit ticket. Now here's a tune I threw together after the race. I added a little camber to the tires and stiffened the chassis a little bit, loosened the rear end a little bit, adjusted this final gear as well as the wing. And actually, I liked this tune a little bit better. Ran it around the track a couple of times. That one may work for you a little bit better. Maybe give it a try. Just know that you got to be a little more cautious on the throttle coming out of the corner, and you've got to be more cautious on the final corner, making sure you stay on the outside line, because there's not as much downforce on that rear wing. You may have to add a few ticks back if you find that rear end is sliding out on you. But the extra camber in those tires helped a good bit in the infield section of the high-speed ring. I don't know what else to call it. I call it the infield section, where all the technical turns are. So, hope you enjoyed all of the video. Hope you enjoyed all the action, and hope those tips were useful for you. If they were, please hit the like and subscribe. Come back, check out some more. For myself, Go Grady. Y'all have a great evening.